Hello everyone, my name is Yogendra Kumar. Welcome to this lecture making HTTP requests with Python. So in this lecture I am going to share inside our Python request library. I divided this topic making HTTP request in Python in three parts. So here I am going to discuss first part of this topic. Okay, so without wasting a time, let's take a look at the agenda of this lecture. So here we are going to discuss about what exactly is Python request, why do we use it, and after that how can we install request library in our system, and later on we'll discuss make get request and processes responses, and we'll talk about status code and content as well. Moving further, we will learn about make post request, cookies and headers, and session object as well. And finally I will come with next lectures with error exceptions and logging, along with a real world example of a script which I wrote to monitor website and ICS secure agent. So what is request? So request is a Python module that you can use to send all kinds of HTTP requests. It is easy to use and has lot of features like passing parameters, sending custom headers, and SSL verifications. It is human friendly HTTP library, and it is also suggested on official document page as well. It is a one of the most downloaded Python library, more than 400k downloads every day. It is written by Kenneth Threads and it has license under Apache 2.0. So I hope you are clear what exactly Python request. Let's take a look request advanced features that requests come with. So in request we have keep alive and connection pooling. Along with international domains and URLs, we have session with cookies persistent, Unicode response bodies, browser style SSL verification, and HTTPS proxy support. It comes with automatic content decoding, multi-part file uploads, and it supports basic authentication, streaming downloads, and in last not least, connection timeouts and chunk request. Okay. Next, why do we use Python request library? So Python request library supports de facto standard for making HTTP request. It's a beautiful simple API and it abstracts the complicated parts of HTTP and it focus on interaction with services. So next, what do I need for this lecture? So before this lecture you can go through below link which I have mentioned over here. So it just will give you the understanding over HTTP protocol, like what are the status code in HTTP and what are the messages written HTTP protocol. Okay, so let's have a look on the coding part. So here I'm using Jupyter Notebook. So I have mentioned all the HTTP methods. So below are the methods which support by HTTP protocol. Then so next part is how to install Python. So if you don't have Python in your system, you can download from the python.org and can install. So after Python installation you can verify if Python installed successfully or not. So this is the command to check which version is in your system. So you can type in the cmd python dash version. So it will return Python 3.6.8 because I am using this version. So here as I am using the Jupyter Notebook, so I have written the code to check the current Python version which I am using in my system. So here you can see, so it's giving me 3.6.8 because I am using the 3.6.8. okay, so now next part is install request library. So we will use a pip installer to install the request library. You can use pip install request. So let's have a look. So here you can type pip install request. So you can see that it is giving requirement already satisfied because I have already installed the request library. So that's the reason it's giving this message. So if you haven't installed, you can install using pip installer. If you have already installed, then you can leave it this step. So after installing request library, you can use the import keyword to import the library in your program. So here this is a very simple syntax to import the library. So I will run it and it will import the request library in my program. Now we will discuss about the get call and status codes. So these are the status code which is written by the HTTP protocol. So when we will make the get call, so our status code will fall under these 5 categories. So here okay, let's have a look on the get call. So here I have written one get call. So the request is our library name and the method name is get, and this is the URL on which URL we will make the get call. So let's have a look here. So let me run it. Okay, so I got 200. So 200 falls under the second category, that means success. So it means the action was successfully received. So I sent one request, that is get request, and I got 200. So that means my request successfully responded back. So here guys, don't get confused here because I am using Jupyter Notebook. So if you have idea about the Jupyter Notebook, then you can use it. Those do not have idea about the Jupyter Notebook, they can write the code or syntax in the simple notepad plus or notepad file, and then they can run using this command line options. So just write the syntax in the text file and save with .py extension. Then they can run this script using the Python and then pass the file name, and you can see here you will get the 200. Okay, now next let's have some wrong call or wrong get call. So what I did here, I've removed the s from the URL, and then we'll see what is the status code and the content for this call. So let me run it and we'll see the output. So here 404. So 404 fall under this category. So this is the client error category. So it means the request contain incorrect syntax or cannot be fulfilled the requirement. So because here what I did, I removed the s. So this is the wrong URL, and that's the reason I'm getting 404. So that means not found. This URL doesn't exist. Okay. So this is all about the get call and the content and the status code. So all these status code for HTTP protocol will fall under these 5 categories. So in the next lecture we will discuss about the post and some advanced feature of HTTP request library. So thanks for watching this lecture.